Today is going to be a walkthrough of a gym routine that I currently have, which is a push day. Now, for my push days, I usually like to focus on bench press, overhead pressing, anything that's compound specific. And then one thing that I've actually started to alter from the past is after my big compound lifts, I go right into the arm wrestling exercises. Before we get started, I was gonna whip up a pre-workout. I wanna show you guys what I have been using for a pre-workout. This pre-pump here from Harder Than Last Time Supplements. I like to use 2 scoops of this stuff. They say between 1 and 3 scoops pre-workout. I like to take 2. I'm a little bit more sensitive when it comes to pre-workout in general, but this stuff is like gum today, dude. Okay, let's call that 2.5 scoops there. With my pre-workout, I also like to have L-carnitine, just this stuff here. This stuff's actually by Allmax. You can get this with different kinds of brands. I like this just because, one, it gives good blood flow to the body, and I can literally read it right off the front of the label, but this stuff's like gold, dude. Aids in muscle recovery, reduces muscle tissue damage, helps improve physical performance and tissue formation, and increases metabolism of fats. So there you go. Also, this has been my absolute go-to, seriously, since I've actually got my hands on this stuff. And before I've gotten sponsored by Harder Than Last Time Supplements, I was already taking the turkestrone. If you guys can get your hands on this stuff, I am telling you, absolute game changer. I like to take 3 pills of this stuff. It slaps pretty hard. For me, the way I see it is turkestrone, it being an ecti steroid. If you are looking to enhance your performance, enhance your gym lifts, get stronger, any of that stuff between, I like to say anywhere between 8 to 10 to 15% if we're pushing it over an 8 to 12 week period. I highly suggest you guys get yourself on some turkestrone. I'm gonna slap this pre-workout in. Oh my God, that stuff is strong, woo! But luckily enough today, if you guys wanna get your hands on any of this stuff, turkestrone, I highly suggest, look, if you could take this or this, I would go with the turkestrone. If you guys wanna save yourself some money on your next order, use code Keanu15 to save yourself 15%. I think today, like I was saying, we're gonna do some bench press, overhead press, and then I'm gonna take out the proper grip equipment and we're gonna do some internal pressing on the bicep machine. Now, luckily at the gym, which you guys are gonna see soon, I like to call it the back pressure machine, but it's literally just a machine for biceps. It's like the one you sit on and you have like this horizontal cable that goes across and then you curl in. I like to attach my equipment to it and then actually do arm wrestling exercises. Today we're gonna be playing with some Gripzilla equipment, including the wrist straps, so it's gonna be good for bench pressing. One thing that I really like to do when it comes to enhancing the pre-workout that I think is extremely underrated, throw a sweater on when you're having pre-workout. I feel like once you have the sweater going, you get a little bit more hot, which in turn gets you more blood flow, which allows you to get a better pump. So, let's hit the gym. It's also been a minute since I've updated you guys on the dog situation. Let's just get down to the floor here and say hello to Mila. Mila, how you doing, girl? How you feeling? How you feeling? Tell the viewers how you doing. Tell the viewers how you doing. How much you weigh in, what you been up to these days. Let them know how you doing. So you weigh 3 kilograms now. You're teething a lot, you're biting. You're a lot off leash. Yeah, I know. Oh yes. How much is daddy gonna bench based off Gripzilla's wrist straps? You gotta let the viewers know. I know. Okay, say bye. Bye. This is gonna be the first time actually trying these on. I'm expecting these to be very stiff. You can just tell by this trying to open. And luckily enough, I have my Rise ones to actually compare to. I have a feeling they're gonna be approximately the same as the Rise ones, but we're gonna start off with 185 with the band, the wrist. Yeah, we'll start off with 185 with the wrist straps. Automatically, these already feel more heavy duty, which pretty much a good thing. Pretty much a good thing. Now, 185, I don't usually put wrist straps on until I get to the 2-plate pass. If I'm trying to hit big numbers, I'm usually pretty good for not wearing them at all. But we'll give them a shot. So far, they feel good. Let's press 185 and see how we're feeling. Oh yeah. Whew. So we're gonna stay in the triples range today. I always like to do my bench press numbers and the 2 to 5 rep range just because it's more for strength. But initial thoughts on these, they feel more heavy duty vibe than my rise ones. So I'm gonna do the exact same set with these guys on, which I think I only brought one. Oh no, dude, I got them both. So I'm gonna do the exact same weight with these ones. And then I can give my initial reaction to the comparison of both. So I've used these ones a ton. So I have a good grasp on how these ones actually feel. But just coming off the Gripzilla ones, let's give it a shot. And these are also warmed in quite a bit. If I were to say, probably use these 50, 60 times to say at the least. Now immediately putting these on, I can already feel that they've been worn. They've been used quite a bit, but they still do the job. And I mean, if you're looking for stability, immediately the Gripzilla ones are gonna be better just because, well, they feel newer, they feel stiffer. But let's do the same way with these ones. Let's see how we're feeling. 185 should come up pretty good. We'll still stay on the tries. For a triple. I mean, immediately these are definitely more comfortable, but the Gripzilla ones would be more of a stiffer feel. And from a material standpoint, I can feel, you won't be able to tell much on screen, but I'm telling you just from feeling them here. Yeah. Gripzilla ones are more thicker. I would say they're double the thickness. So I like them both. I don't really have a preference, but if you're looking for raw stability, already Gripzilla is gonna be where it's at. Now for the rest of my sets, I'm gonna stick with these ones. I'm gonna put the Rise ones away. Just because I wanna actually test out the Gripzilla ones to feel, what can they do at high weight? Up to 225. This isn't usually too bad for myself, but with 2 plates, should be pretty good with the straps. Man, these things feel thick. And I'm telling you immediately, these compared to the Rise ones are very cheap. I like these more, for sure. All right, let's give it a shot. Here we go, triple. Oh. Oh. Yeah. It's also very different when you're wearing wrist straps. I usually have the tendency to bend my wrist a little bit more back, but these don't allow you to, which is theoretically a good thing just because of your tendons. And one thing I've started to incorporate too is actually putting my feet on the bench press and focusing directly on the chest as opposed to like a powerlifting style where your feet are digging right into the ground. So with the wrist straps and actually having the feet up should make a very, very big difference. Okay, we have 275 ready to rumble. I'm I have 275 ready to go. Shouldn't be too difficult. We're gonna try for a double. If we get a triple, I'll take it. But this is where the wrist strap should come into effect. Should feel it the most. Biceps feeling a little bit overworked from practice. But the tricep are feeling pretty good. So we will give it a shot. I'm pretty confident we should be able to do 275 for a double. No problem. Well, biggest difference from before though is I used to put my feet on the ground for this, and now we're feet on the bench should be a little bit more difficult. Ooh. Close grip, 275. Let's go. Ooh. A little too heavy for my liking. I probably could have done a triple, but I'm a spotter and I'm not gonna risk it. I think I'll bring it up maybe 285, 295, and go from there. I'm feeling good. My bicep's not liking me though. Working weight, 285. We'll do 285 for a single, just because I don't feel like doing 2 reps, and 1 rep's easier than 2. So we'll bring it up to 285, depending on how this goes. Bring it up some more. It should come off pretty quick. I'm gonna do my best not to cheat it. But these wrist straps are tripping me out a little bit because I want to bend my wrist just a little bit more than usual, but they don't let me to. So this might be a top set, it might not be. See how 25 goes. I'm gonna do my best to not cheat this. And also keep in mind that this is a close grip. So more difficult than I anticipated. And I also felt my ass coming off on that one. Now I'm just curious, do I bring it up 10 more pounds and then go a little bit more wider grip, or put my feet on the ground for this? But one of the biggest changes I've made was literally adjusting my feet. And the biggest focus now is, now that I have my feet on the bench, I can actually focus on the chest. Close grip, as opposed to, I don't know. I think we'll try 10 more pounds up. I'm gonna actually widen my grip, and I'll even put my feet on the ground and see how we're feeling. All right, 295 for a single. I should be good to hit this. I've hit 315 2 years ago. And I don't usually work up the singles when it comes to bench. I'm usually in that 2 to 5 range, so should be fine. But I'm gonna try to cheat this one a little bit. Feet are going on the ground, and not doing close grip on this one. A little bit wider. And hopefully these wrist straps can help. All right, thanks. Whew. Yeah, a little easier than I thought it was gonna be. But for today, I'm definitely not going higher than that. I think we'll save 305 for the next time. I'll keep it at 295. So this is one machine you would find in many, many gyms. And I like to cheat this thing. Usually, people would use these bicep machines to work on the arms. I like to use it for back pressure and pressing. So one thing that I've started to integrate onto my bench press days or my push days is using this Mazarenko strap and the Israel arm wrestling ball to use it as a pressing. So let me show you what I mean. Instead of you actually using this like orthodox I like to come in, get a nice scoop, and then I just use it as like a straight side pressure, and then I come in and I'm driving in my shoulder. So it's essentially like having an arm wrestling table at home that you can use at the gym for free. It's amazing. So right now we're working with 15, 25. I don't actually know if the weight is literally 25 pounds, but dude, it works. And what's nice about this, you can actually work with different angles. So we're gonna bring the weight up. I'm working at 15. I'll do a little bit of warm up on the left. And when you're doing these pressing movements, it literally forces you to use side pressure, which is something I feel like everybody always needs to work on at the minimum. I'll show what I mean by the bicep machine you'll see here. So if you take a look how simple this concept is. It's literally like having a pulley system to your arm wrestling table. Very, very simple. We're gonna do a little bit higher rep here just to get the blood flow, and then we're gonna drive the weight way up. Whoa, so you can see I'm already coming in. I have to internal rotation, drive. Whoa. 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 And I feel like since I've been doing a movement like this, my press has increased tenfold. Yeah. So when it comes to pressing, it gets heavy very quick. So I'm gonna bring this up to 30, and then it goes in increments of 15. Now, does it actually go up to 15 pounds each? Probably not. But you don't need much weight to do this exercise. You really don't. We'll probably get to like 60 to 70 pounds, which is definitely not 60 to 70 pounds. And then that's usually where it caps off roughly. So we'll do a supinated pressing movement. And this helps get into out of hook into press. So side pressure in, drive in. One thing I have found though when it comes to the Mazarenko strap, which could happen with most straps, is when you're actually driving in, these straps that come off the tendon, they tend to cut the tendon a little bit. So you gotta be careful when doing this movement, because you can't hurt yourself. So switching out the Mazarenko strap for the Ezreal arm wrestling ball, I actually prefer to do this one more because when you're actually doing your supination, this strap is a lot more easier on the tendon, and it tends to actually want to pull out of your hand a lot more. So if I was to hold it, which the position I'm going to like this, as I'm cupping in, there's nothing coming off the tendon, and if it does, it's nice and flat, so it's extremely easy. Same thing with the right. I'm gonna come in like this. It's probably gonna come off here, and because you're squeezing on this so hard, it just forces you to open up. So it's not so bad on the arms, and it helps you get better grip. Okay, now working with 45 pounds. This is actually starting to feel very heavy, which just starts to become tricky, just because the heavier you go, when you go in and driving for your side pressure, it's a lot harder to get into the press. So we will attempt to do this. Now it says 45 pounds, but we actually have another 10 pounds sitting on top. So it's gonna be a little bit more than 45 pounds. It'll probably be around like, I don't actually know. You'll see what I mean here. Here we go. Jesus, that's heavy. So you have to like get the weight behind your shoulder, and then you can come in and drive. And the release pain on these movements is just crazy. For those who know what release pain is, which is 101% of you, you know it's not fun. So when you're doing heavy weight, you gotta be extremely careful. And especially on a machine like this, because you have so much distance to go when you let off the weight. Like I can't just drop it here. I have to literally come over here, which means the adjustment's just very weird. Now I don't know if I can do this with my left arm. I probably can't. I'll give it a shot, but I guarantee you I can't. The left arm's usually, nope. So I'm gonna take off 10, and we'll stick with, well, Now it's 45. It says 45, we have the 2 5s on. So we'll do officially 45. But one thing with my left, I have to put so much weight behind the arm first. So I'm immediately on the side pressure. Then I can drive it. Yo, my left tricep doesn't like that at all. I'll bring the weight up one more time on the right. I'll probably try 45, 55, 60. Use these numbers with a grain of salt. I'm gonna do 60 pounds, probably 60 to 70 and see how I'm feeling. Right arm's so much easier from a side pressure standpoint just to get into the press. But my left there, like the tendon that comes off the back, like on the bottom, wasn't liking me there. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. And we are back in the studio to end off the day, going through some editing, and while I'm here, I realized I was only able to do 2 workouts at the gym today, which is technically a fail, but also a win, because one, we made it up to a 295 single, something I don't do that often. Like I like to stick in the 2 to 5 range, but 295 for a single, and it looks easy on camera. It was not easy in the moment, but I'll consider that a win. If you guys like these types of videos, if it's from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed, from calorie counting, seeing what I eat in a day, going through my supplements, just a daily routine and day in the life of an arm wrestler, seriously, let me know down in the comments below and I'll make sure to make them happen. But if you guys are serious in actually improving your grip game, I'm talking get better grip strength, better fingers, if it's better forearms, stronger forearms, actually improving your grip strength, seriously check out Gripzilla. Amazing equipment. They offer everything from chalk to grippers to the Tornado, which is the only company that makes something like that. And if you're actually gonna be stopping by to shop, use code Keanu at checkout, capital letters Keanu, save yourself 10% off your order, and make sure to let me know so I can personally thank you. But I am going to end the video there. If you guys like this type of content, like the video, consider subscribing, and if you haven't seen my most recent video about Schoolboy and Irakli Zirikashvili, check it out just right here, and I'll catch you guys on the other side. Peace.